Oh, what's going on, everybody? Here, and welcome to Meet Your Maker. So today we're doing a special episode because it's a special episode. One, it is actually sponsored by Meet Your Maker, so huge shout out to Meet Your Maker for actually sponsoring this video. But what we're doing today is we're going to do how to build a deadly base without using. I'm gonna say without using a kill chamber, without using a kill room. There's a lot of people that just don't like those, and I get it, I understand, but you can still make it very deadly, and it's a lot of fun, and I've been having a good time with it. So we're gonna go ahead, I'm gonna claim a new site here, and we're gonna start from scratch. So I'm gonna go with the big site. You could do this with any site you want, like small, medium, large. I'm gonna tell you basically why, what I look for and how I do what I do. So what I'm looking for is actually what I want is I actually want one that's going to do traps, because I want to increase my traps. So basically whatever first of all, whatever one you select here, whatever it says down here, anybody who completes it and dies during that time, you're going to get experience towards your traps. So we're going to go ahead and claim that site, and we're going to start building. Now, you don't have to use very many traps. You don't have to use very many things at all in order to make a deadly fun site. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna hop into build here, and I want to give you some tips and tricks. So hopefully you guys enjoy. If you do, like, subscribe, all fun things. Again, if you're interested in Meet Your Maker, link down below. I think it's an absolutely it's so much fun. It's such a good time. But like I said, there are people that are complaining about kill chambers and kill rooms and stuff like that, which I don't know why you're complaining. Everything's user made anyways, but it is what it is. So some people just don't like it, but oh my gosh. Okay. So this area is massive. Oh my gosh. Okay. So my other one was a small map. This is very, very big. So what you could do here is kind of wild. There's a lot of stuff going on. So what I'm gonna do is the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna build a route for the route that I want somebody to take. Just basically this line with a pathway going here, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna fill in and kind of tweak it and things and stuff like that for making it more deadly. Now, another thing I like to look for is the burial chambers. These things. So you don't want to cover these up, and honestly you want to make them accessible, because if you've played these maps and stuff like that, if you come up to these, you shoot them, they give you a whole bunch of resources. They're super nice. Just covering them up is kind of a jerk move. Don't do that. Don't take that away. Leave them open, let people get the goods. That's the whole fun of it. So there's one. If I can find the other ones, I'm going to go ahead and try to make secret pathways to them. But let me go ahead. Let me get a path for this guy, starting from here to there, and yeah, I'll see you in a minute. Okay, so I got a path made. It's nothing super crazy right now, but basically I'll kind of give you a run through of my path. Now, I know I'm making this, and then I'm hoping the path is gonna be alive before, because if I make this video and then I show you the path, everybody's gonna be able to know the path. But anyways, so we're gonna have I like to leave a couple open paths here. But what I want to do is I got the main path figured out, and we have a dotted line. We have to make sure everything's looking good. Now I might need to make adjustments as we go, but you can kind of see the path. Basically just kind of loops around, kind of in and out through all this stuff. But I want to make sure I found one of these right here. So I'm going to make a path that if they go this way and do some exploration, they can hit that up. There's also another one down here right there, so eventually we'll go ahead and make that, so that way they can whoever plays this, they can hit this. Actually, hold on, let's go ahead and do that, so that way they can jump like that. But basically we got the path done. So the pathway is done. It kind of loops around, does some things, nothing super crazy. There's not going to be, like I said, there's not going to be a kill chamber where everything's in one room and it's super hard. Don't worry, we're going to make it plenty hard. It's going to be difficult enough. But basically a lot of looping around, trying to confuse people, because if you confuse where they're at and they don't know where their bot is and they don't want to just stand there and wait, a lot of times people will go down the wrong way. It's kind of funny. So yeah, there is that, but that's all looks good. But now what I want to do is we got to go ahead and we got to start actually making the room. We got to start setting up all the tools and all that fun stuff. So I need to start going ahead and boxing everything in. Now for me, what I like to do is I don't like to have a very long line of sight, and you want to have your traps hidden. you don't want the people to see the traps beforehand that you want them to see. So it's going to be a game of putting things where you want people to see and putting things where you don't want people to see. So let me go ahead. Let me start getting some of this. Let me start getting some of this room kind of like boxed in a little bit here. And then I'll talk a little bit more about what I mean by that. Okay, so I think I got everything pretty much closed in here. Now, except for I still need to close this part in right here, but we're not gonna talk about that right now. We're not gonna worry about that. So let's kind of just pop through here and let's see what we've got here. So basically what we have is we have our entrance, right? So we're gonna basically walk down here, all this fun stuff. And wait, hold on, which way is this one? Is this the one that goes up to the top? No, this is not the one that's going to go up to the top. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and block that off. Now, so for the most part, can we get rid of... There, let's get rid of that preview. So for the most part, we have our trail here. We have our pathways done. And it's fairly linear. There's nothing super crazy going on. However, I need to block that off. It's always good to run these multiple times. Now, I use the same material every single time when I start building because it just makes it easier for me. Now, as we go through and do some more adjustments, like I'll start changing materials, you know, getting things that blend in with traps, things like that. So, but I want to show you a couple of things that can actually, you can do with just your pathway design that can make it, you know, more difficult. So basically we have our same pathway here. I think, is this the way? Yeah. So this is going to be the way that they can get up to this area over here. I'm going to close this all in, you know, but then there's going to be that spot right there. We run through, we got back and forth seas, ups and downs. And then we've got this area, which is fairly open. Actually, this is way too open. Okay, there we go. So now it's closed off a little bit here. So we have this like open spaces here. And then right here is actually the area to the next one. We need to block that off. I just make sure that there's no like open spaces for them to go somewhere that I don't necessarily want them to. But like this, I'm pretty sure, I'm almost positive they can go anywhere in here and I don't really care. Like, to be honest, but I'll probably go ahead and block it off just a little bit more. Yeah, you know what? Let's just go ahead and throw a block in right here. We'll just call that good. And then we'll throw a couple blocks in right here. That just basically prevents people from going super crazy into areas that I might not exactly want them to. But then boom, they can get that. Cool. Awesome. And like I said, I always like to make that available because it's just like, why not? You know, don't cover it up. It's bonus stuff. It's fun. Now, as they're going along, this is not good either. But what I'm going to do here is, as you can see, I'm actually going to make this look like it could be a space, so they could fall down in there if they choose to. You know, they can go like, oh, what's down in here? And then there's nothing. You know, it's like, haha, you just wasted your time for no reason. And I'm going to go ahead and build this in. I thought I did all of this already, but apparently I did not do a very good job. All right, so that's all built in. That's all built in. This is not even remotely built in. Okay, so that looks pretty good. So now this area right here, this is where some of the fun can actually begin. And what I like to do with these areas is these are going to be the choices that you make. So you can wait for your little buddy and he can show you the way, you know, he can show you the most direct path. However, if you're not waiting for your friend, or you're obviously taking a while because like the things don't hurt him or your the friend, this is where you start making choice opportunities. So these are the things that you can make lead to absolutely nowhere and have multiple choices. And the reason that these get fun is because when you're on your way back and you took a wrong turn, or you took like 4 or 5 wrong turns on the way in and you don't remember, this is where things can get really irritating. You're like, oh, I don't remember which way I went. So an example of this is, I'm just going to go ahead and kind of build this up just a little bit here to give you an example of what I'm talking about. But basically, we go through, do something like this. We go ahead and block that off, block this off. We'll go ahead and maybe block that one off. But essentially what happens is you come to a fork and you're like, okay, if I get rid of that, it's like that way it looks like it goes somewhere, but this way does also look like it goes somewhere, you know? And it's like, okay, cool. So like maybe I'll go down this way. Because like it looks like it's a spot, you know? It looks like it's a hallway, and you keep going, you're like, okay, you know what? I think I'm onto something here. Even make a thing go. You could possibly even make a ramp going down. But basically what you're doing, you're just wasting their time. You're just wasting the person's time because they think they're onto something and they're not. They're actually nowhere in the right spot. And you basically just keep it going. So now if we fill this in, I mean, this looks like it's a hallway. It looks like it's hold on. It looks like it's meant to be here. It looks like it was finished this way. It looks like it was designed. Okay, so there we go. So it looks like it's a hallway. Oh my gosh, and I completely missed this spot right here. Boom. It looks like it's a hallway, and it looks like it actually has multiple choices. Like, oh, okay, we go this way, go this way. Ah, darn it. This isn't the right way. Fill that in. And basically so on and so forth. So now it's like, oh, this looks like a hallway. This looks like a way I'm supposed to go. And you basically keep going, and it's not. So then you have to turn around and you have to like, okay, well, which way did I go? Did I go this way? Did I go this way? So basically, these are the choice chambers. That's what I like to call them. Choice chambers. You have the option. Now, for personally, I don't put traps in those because I think they're a waste. I think just tricking people to go down the wrong thing is fun enough. And then, I mean, maybe you could throw a trap or two in there and then it will really make it seem like it's like the right way. Cause it's like, well, shoot, there's traps here, you know? So it's gotta be the right way. So there's that. Okay. So that's all fine and dandy, but I'm going to go ahead and continue on. And then we're going to, let's actually talk about the placing the traps, because that is the best part of this game. That is the most fun you can have. When it comes to, I think it's the most fun you can have when it comes to Meet Your Maker. All right, so let's talk about traps. So my whole thing is good. It's all blocked off. I think I have to go back through and make sure, but let's talk about the traps. Now, traps are something, they can be done. I'm going to use just basic traps that I have. So I've got a total of, I've got the corrosive block, we've got the impaler, and then we've got the bolt shot. So those are the only ones I'm using right now. And the reason for that is because that's what everybody starts off with. So everybody starts off with that. You don't have to worry about, and you can only use 9 unique traps anyways, but you don't have to worry about anything. It's like, oh, well, you have this trap and it's better. No, we can make this place super deadly with just basic traps, nothing crazy. So first thing you do is you have to get behind the player that's coming in here, right? So if you are going in here, you're going to immediately walk in, you're going to be looking. You're going to be like, okay, so is there anything here? No, here, here, here. So basically, usually what I do is, depending on how hard you want to make it, there's a couple of things. So what I like to do is, let's do this. Let's grab a trap. We're gonna grab the bolt shot, and the reason we're gonna grab the bolt shot, we're gonna put it right here on this side. Now the bolt shot, it's right there, so it's like, oh, that's gonna be obvious. However, there is something we can do to kind of make that trap a little bit more hidden. And basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to, let's see, where are you? Decorative blocks. Okay, so I really like lights. So you know why? Because people's eyes follow lights. So I'm gonna put this here, and then I'm gonna put this right there. So now when you come in here, and we're gonna go with, you know what, we'll go with this one. So now when you come in here, like, okay, cool, lights, you're looking, you're gonna naturally follow these lights this way, and then you're gonna move out here, and then what, bam, this is right behind you. It's gonna get sent off. Now, something else I like to do is, you gotta have some sacrificial traps. You know, there's traps people are gonna see regardless. So what I like to do is, if we're gonna have an impale, let's do a bolt shot again. Let's put this bolt shot down here. That way when they think they came in here, that's the trap that they saw. And then let's see if we can't do something even a little spicier here. Let's grab a block and let's grab, I don't know, let's grab this. Well, you know what? Let's use the same ones for now. Let's grab something like, we can't put that one there. That one's not going to work. So the problem is that if they see that one, that they're going to be like, oh, they're just going to dodge it like that, which is actually going to dodge this one too, which isn't going to help us like at all. You know what? Let's get rid of that one. We'll leave that one there for now. So that one's there. So that's good. Now, something else that I like to do is, so we have those there. That's all fine. Oh, you know what we can do here? This is what we'll do. We will actually set up a, this is what we'll do. We'll make it look like there's something down here. We'll set up this one. This is always a good one. Anything that moves also catches your eye. So they're going to be looking, they're going to think that might be a trap. It might not be. All the fun and dandy, they're going to shoot that one. That one's going to be good. Okay. So then we got to figure out other ways to trick people, because that's basically what you do. Now, utilizing these mechanical components like this, the moving stuff, fantastic. Utilize them everywhere you can. It just makes things a little bit better. And then let's go ahead and do something like this. And the reason I'm doing this is because what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and grab a trap. We're going to stick these onto there. So that way they come around, they're gonna be like, oh, that's the trap. Okay, they're gonna try to shoot it, and then they'll walk, wham. They're gotten. They got, you know? So that looks good. Let's see, what else do we have? So once we continue on. Now, I don't like to make it like super crazy, you know, but just, you know, enough. And then there's this beginning, you know, we gotta introduce people into the traps, into the base slowly. Because one thing that is like super annoying is dying at the end. Dying at the end of a run is the worst thing, and that's the number one way to get people to not take your gen mat, is because they don't want to do it again. So, okay, nice and easy. This is good. This is good. So now we have stairs. So what's good about stairs is you have these flat surfaces right here. So chances are they're going to check and see. It's like, okay, so if I ever see a ramp, I always look right here, you know? I'm always looking right there. Now, if we do something like this, let's see, let's grab one of these guys. I'm gonna throw that there. And then what I'm actually gonna do is let's go ahead and get a, let's get a block. Let's get this guy. And we're actually gonna put this, we're gonna put that right there. And the reason we're gonna put that right there is because we're gonna put a trap up there. We're gonna put the bolt shot up there. But I'm counting on them to see that. And I'm counting on them to see this. What I'm not counting on is the next set of impalers there. Or possibly, look at that, there's a hole in my wall. Can you believe that? Or possibly the next set of bolt shot right there. So this kind of makes for an interesting situation, because basically they come up here. They're gonna see this one. Usually they're gonna see this one, and they're gonna be like, oh, there's one right there. They're gonna move in this position. They're gonna shoot it. They're gonna continue on. They're gonna forget to look behind them again. The impaler has a chance to get him. If the impaler has a chance to get him, cool. Chances are, if they get the red screen, they're like, ooh, they're gonna run ahead, and they're gonna see that one behind it, and then this one also. Whoop whoop. Yeah, you see what I'm saying? Just a sneaky. All right, so that all looks good. Now, also, let's see. Other ways that we can improve this. Obviously, we could get some light blocks in here. Lights are just the best thing ever. Lights are so good because they're so distracting. They're so distracting. It's like the worst. That is weird looking. That is a new block. I have not seen that block before. I haven't played this in a little while. Oh my gosh. Oh, this thing is also fantastic. So we have that there. Here, let's go ahead and let's see. Let's move this. We'll put that right there. They'll think that's something right there. Okay, perfect. And then we'll go ahead and throw something there. Something there. Anything that's moving will always catch your eye. So let's go ahead and grab, let's see, what other lights do we have? Cannot place any more of this item? Huh. Weird. Oh, it's because I only all the packs that I have, the uniqueness of them. Nah, you know, I almost rather use these. Yeah, that's fine. We'll go with these again. Throw some lights on. Throw some lights in here. Kind of just get some lights, you know, get people's attention away from what they're doing. And I also like to give people a sense, like a false sense of security. So, false sense of security. God, I sound like a terrible person. By not necessarily using these areas for a lot of traps, you know, like these back and forth areas where you think there'd be a bunch of traps. Maybe not utilizing them for a whole bunch of traps, you know. So this area is a good spot because they're gonna possibly be looking to possibly get up there. And then that's a good spot right there for that one. Come around these long ones. The long corridors aren't really good for anything. Come around. And then let's see. Let's get a bolt shot in here. I'm gonna put a bolt shot there. And the reason I like to put multiple traps is because chances are while they're avoiding one, they're gonna fall into another. I know, right? It's so much fun. It's such a good time. And let's see, let's go throw some spikes on that guy. If we throw spikes there, they won't anticipate spikes there. Now these rooms right here, so these rooms are going to be interesting. So we do have guards. We have this guy. This is like a basic guy that you start off with. We're going to go ahead and just set him up right there because this is kind of a bigger room. And then, you know what? I haven't used any corrosive blocks. So let's go ahead and get some corrosive blocks in here. Corrosive blocks are also really good to get people to look at. But like I said, I didn't want to go with any kill rooms because corrosive blocks are also really good for kill chambers. Because if you are avoiding something, you can easily slip into a corrosive trap and just bloop, turn into nothingness. So yeah, we'll have that trap there. This guy here. The idea is that you see the corrosive block. Maybe you see this corrosive block here. This guy pops out. He might get you. Let's see. I'm not going to do anything into those areas right there. But you can kind of see where we're going with this, right? So it's all about getting the eyes away from the traps, trying to lead people on with false insecurity, or make them look at the moving things, or make them look at the lights or whatever. So let's go ahead and then let's talk about, because I don't need to spend the whole rest of this time to basically going into doing the entire thing. Let's talk about secondary wave stuff. Second wave stuff, that is also super fun because once they get the gen mat, once they finally make it there, that's when things can get really spicy. If you can kill the player on the second wave, on the second run after they get the gen mat, that is most likely when they're not going to try to come back for it. If it was a pain to get it the first time, they're not going to come back because they're like, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to do all that over again just to try to get that stupid gen mat. So I kind of want to show you what I like to do. First thing that I like to do is let me get up here. Let me get to where the gen mat is actually at. So gen mat's right here. Number one thing that I like to do is grab yourself an impaler trap. Make it hard to get out of this area. That is kind of what you want to do. Just make it a pain to get out of here initially. Okay, so now what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and look at these trap mods. I'm going to set this as a second wave. Second wave. These are all going to be second wave traps. So now once you get up here, you know what? Let's go ahead and just throw a regular trap in here. So now once they come in here, these aren't going to be visible. They're going to be hiding. They're going to boop. They're going to grab it. They're going to grab this. Second wave is going to spawn. That's going to immediately start trying to shoot out. So they're going to have to run. They're going to have to run in front of this, and they're going to try to dodge it. And then what we're going to do, actually, you know what? This is perfect. Boom. We're going to throw another one there. Trap mod, second wave. So they're going to try to run. because they got the gen mat. They're excited. It's like, oh, finally I made it. Boom. They're gonna turn around. That thing's gonna fire off. So they're gonna have to move. There's nowhere else to go in this situation. They're gonna have to move forward. It's gonna set this off. If they don't get out of the way of that, it's gonna run. They're gonna have to set this off. If they don't run, it's gonna have to get out of the way there. There's so many traps right here that they could run into. Now, once you know they're here, you could very easily just go whoop right out of there and you're done. So it's super easy, but you're counting on it being hectic. You're counting on things being crazy, and that's kind of the point. You know, you want things to be crazy, you want things to be unexpected, you want to play with the stress, you want to play with the hecticness of everything. That is what you're trying to do. And then, so basically same thing, put some secondary traps throughout the entire thing. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to run to the beginning, because the beginning is, wait a second. This is not blocked off as much. No. Okay, I got to block this all off. All right, so we're back here at the beginning. Secondary traps. This is the last place to get them. This is it. And this should be the place where you try to get them the most, because if you manage to kill somebody right here on their way out, oh, it's such a bad feeling. Oh, it hurts. It hurts so bad. It's not fun. It's just not fun. Now another fun thing to do here is actually, let me just show you. We're just gonna do this right now. Let's grab these. Let's turn these into angles here. We're gonna put one there, one there, and one there. So what's fun here is grabbing these and grabbing the bolt shot there, and there, and turning these to second wave as well. Because sometimes you can get somebody, they get out and they stop, and then they get roasted by arrows. I know. Sometimes it happens. It's a good time. All right. So yeah, so if you can get them right here, that's fantastic. You always basically throw a thing of impalers basically all right here, because you know they're gonna try to get out. They're gonna try to escape, like, obviously. And then let's see, where else would we throw these? Maybe right there. That'd be a good spot. So there's that. Now, we talked about traps. We talked about second wave traps. Let's go ahead and let's talk about the guards. I didn't really talk about the guards. I placed a guard, but I want to talk about guards a little bit more, because they can be super useful. So I want to go ahead and place a guard where I think it would be useful in our situation. So in my situation right here, this is where I think a guard would be handy. Is I have a lot of these back and forth areas. And I kind of talked about these, that they're kind of predictable. You know, you could see long ways, you kind of, it's just not super exciting. However, when things become exciting is if you can sneak a guard behind them. If you can get a guard coming in behind somebody and make them rush this, it can get a lot more fun. So how would I do that? How would I get somebody to rush this situation? Well, I would try to probably go through and let's see, let's grab some blocks here. Let's grab some of these. And what I'm going to do is we'll go ahead and throw in this guy. Let me go ahead and use the same blocks. That way these don't get too obvious here. And then we'll grab a guard. And then we'll grab this guy. And then we'll throw him there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and record the guard patrol. And basically, we're going to do this. And that's it. So if they come running out here, back and forth. That's all I want to do. And then ideally, people will run past. The guy comes out. Oh, and he takes off running. Oh, he takes off running. That's the point. That's like where the fun is. Now, let's see. We could probably also go ahead and do something similar right in here. So let me go ahead and get that going. All right, so that guard is set up to come out here, walk around. Now, so that could push somebody right into these spikes. That could push somebody into... Oh, we don't have a set of spikes right here? We should definitely have a set of spikes right there. And yeah, so that's kind of the plan there. That's what you can do with guards. Now, there's other types of guards, but like I said, I'm trying to play with the ones that probably everybody has. And like I said, I haven't gone through and spent all my points. I have like a ton of points that I just haven't spent on stuff. But that gets you your guards. That talks about those. Now, there's other guards that are like long range. They're flying. If you want to use like the flying ones, the long range ones, you're going to want a little bit bigger open area. Now, the area that I have for that is right here. So what I would do is I'd probably go ahead and, well, this needs to be blocked off. What I'd probably go ahead and do is I would actually open this area up just a little bit more. Maybe take out some of these, redo a little bit of this area, and then have a flying guy somewhere in this area. Or if you can have them do long distances too, because the flying guys like they like to shoot. So if you could put a guy that's like right here and they can shoot from a long distance, very handy as well. So yeah, that is kind of my little tutorial on how to make a deadly thing. You don't need a kill room, you don't need insane areas and things like that. You don't need insane traps, you don't even need a ton of upgrades. You basically just the basics. This is absolutely the basics, and I have full faith that this will work just fine. I'm gonna set up a few more on my own, you know, just so I can have this out there and not have everybody completely know where everything's at. But I guarantee you, it'll get the kills that we need. It'll get us some materials, some XP, some things like that. But again, thank you so much for Meet Your Maker for sponsoring this video. I really do appreciate it. It's absolutely awesome. I love working with games on things like this. This is so much fun. This is such a fun game too. Like, I'm having such a good time. But yeah, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think. Are you playing Meet Your Maker? If you're not, links down below. You can get it now and check it out for yourself. And yeah, thanks again for coming out. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you in the next one.